In today's You Ask, I Answer, Sandy asks, in a performance-driven marketing strategy, how do I set a budget? Really good question. So in a previous episode of You Ask, I Answer, we talked about valuing marketing, what's proving the value of marketing, and that uses the customer lifetime value, the customer value, and then it is distributed up the marketing operations funnel. So if one customer is, one closed sale is worth $1,000 and it takes you 10 opportunities to get one customer, well then obviously each opportunity is worth $100 and so on and so forth up the ladder. Well, you do the exact same procedure for customer acquisition cost. What does it cost to acquire a customer? If it costs if it costs you $5,000 to acquire a customer, you march back up that same ladder. So let's get to that middle layer. We know it's one sale, it takes 10 opportunities, it takes 100 prospects. So 100 prospects are worth, in our model, we say it was $100, right? If that's the case, and we say to acquire a customer costs us $5,000, which is still very good ROI, by the way, then a prospect is going to cost us $50. You now know how much budget you need because you have to take that customer acquisition cost for one customer. It costs you $5,000 to acquire one customer. It costs you $50 to acquire those 100 prospects. If you have clarity on what it costs for each prospect, then and each opportunity and each sale in your marketing operations funnel, then the only question is, when it comes to setting a budget, how much of the goal do you want? So if you know every prospect costs $50 and every customer costs $5,000 to acquire, and management or the board or the stock market or whoever says, hey, I want to see you win 10 customers this year, well, now you know exactly how much it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you $500,000, right? $50,000, because that's what it's going to cost to acquire 10 customers. And so you set your budget that way, and you spread the cost up the chain, and you know what to ask for. If you run into, I think probably the only area where you're going to run into serious problems is if you have someone say, I want you to win more customers but not spend any more money. You can't really do that. If you know every customer costs you $5,000 to acquire, you can't get one customer for $5,000 and get the second customer for $0. Just does not work like that. You cannot go to the store except for buy one get one free sale. But there is no such thing in the actual sales and marketing process. So that's the only place where you would run into reality disconnects. And those come in a couple of insidious forms. One of, it's rare that someone's going to make the absolute ludicrous demand that you only get customers for free. If you are getting that request, it's probably time to brush up your LinkedIn profile, because whoever's managing you is not that sensible. But what I have seen and personally experienced in the past is someone saying, here's your budget, we're going to reduce it 5%, and by the way, we want 5% more performance. Surely you can get just a little more efficiency somewhere. Well, maybe not. If the customer acquisition cost goes up overall, then you're not going to be able to reduce the budget 5% and get 5% more results. Instead, if you reduce the budget 5%, you have 5% fewer dollars, you will be able to buy 5% fewer things, right? It's just, again, it's like going to the store. If I go to the store with $100 today and $95 tomorrow, the store is not going to let me walk out with $100 worth of stuff. The store is probably going to insist that I pay $100 for $100 worth of stuff, unless for some reason they're running a sale, but reality doesn't run sales. So that's the answer about how to set a budget. In the same way that you do customer value up the marketing operations ladder, you do customer acquisition cost up the ladder of marketing operations. And then each stage, if you are responsible for prospects, you know what the cost per prospect is based on the conversion rate between each stage. If you're responsible for website traffic, you can figure out what the cost per visitor is. The other thing I think is worth detailing, and this is not something that goes into budget setting so much as improving efficiency, improving operations, is determining where the least well-performing stage is. So just as we did with customer value, if from website traffic to prospect to lead to opportunity to closed new customer, if everything is 10% except for one stage, which is 1%, you're going to be better off trying to figure out what's going wrong in that stage than you will be trying to double your results anywhere else, because you will get so much more leverage out of fixing things that are obviously not working. So in terms of making a budget more efficient, if you've got severe inefficiencies, meaning a 10x difference between one stage and the next, you might be able to find some way to close that gap, but rarely is it something you can rely on for the purposes of budgeting. For the purposes of budgeting, whatever it costs for to acquire a customer today, it's probably going to cost more tomorrow, because prices rarely ever go down. And so that's how you determine the budget. So really good question, Sandy. There's some nuances to it about efficiency, but for the most part, whatever it costs you to buy one thing, budget that as a unit price and determine how many of those things your leadership wants to buy and ask for that budget. And feel free to use the examples if you are talking to stakeholders or board members or executives in your company, and they're really confused why you're pushing back on a budget reduction but the same or better results. Feel free to share this video or any of the examples in it. Say like, yeah, you can't go to the store with $95 and ask for them to give you $100 worth of stuff. They will arrest you. Right? It's called stealing. And in this case, the vendor is reality, and reality almost never offers sales. So thanks for watching. As always, please subscribe to the newsletter, the YouTube channel, and if you have questions or you want someone to do this budgeting worksheet for you or walk you through the process, Brain Trust Insights, the company I work for, does this sort of consulting. So we're happy to help if you just don't want to do it yourself. But this is how you do it yourself. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.